My name is Tatsuya Takahashi and I'm going to show you how to get started making music on the ARP 2600. Originally intended as an educational entry point for beginner synth players, the ARP 2600 is a semi-modular synth that presented the keyboard and sound generator as separate units. There were basic pre-wired signal routings, but the machine offered increasing layers of sonic complexity afforded by additional patching capabilities. The 2600 could also be used as a signal processor for external sources, while offering unique features like an envelope follower, built-in spring reverb, and preamp with stereo speakers. It's been heard on recordings over the last 4 decades, but perhaps its greatest cultural penetration came when it was used for the voice of R2-D2. Despite its vast functionality, the 2600 has a very open and logical layout. So once you've grasped how to read the signal flow from the panel, it's actually quite easy to understand. Also note that this synthesizer has internal speakers, so I might suggest that you try miking it up for any recording, just as we have for this video. To start patching our neutral patch, we'll take all the faders down. We'll open the cutoff with no resonance, and we'll use VCO3 because that's the one with the sawtooth pre-patched. So we'll bring that up into the mix at the input of the VCF. We'll take the output from the VCF up in the VCA, and we'll be controlling the amp with the AR envelope. We'll take the output of the VCA up in the mixer, and we'll have the levels of the speakers at about halfway. And this is your basic sawtooth patch. Obviously there's a lot more here, but one thing that really struck me was that the key track is connected to the VCF. And this means that any pitch signal coming from the keyboard is fed into the filter cutoff. I really think this filter wants to be used as a sine wave oscillator. It even has a fine-tuned control to the cutoff. In combination with the sine wave output of VCO2, we now have 2 sine wave oscillators. So let's do some FM. We'll bring the level of VCO3 down from our previous patch, and we'll take up the resonance so we get oscillation from the filter. We'll roughly center the cutoff frequency. Let's see what this sounds like. So now that we have a sine wave, we want to modulate this with the output of oscillator 2. And to do this, we bring up the fader here. And we want to adjust the 2 frequencies of the 2 sine waves together with the depth of the modulation to get a nice tone. Bit of release on the envelope and some spring reverb. And that's all you need to know to get started on the 2600.